They never give in, even when you're like, when things getting tough and like it looks like you're about to lose, or if you're just struggling with like life and it looks like it's about to be bad, you just don't give in. You just believe in yourself and keep fighting through it.
Season 7, episode 4, Buddy Brown.
What's up?
Buddy, talk to me. How you doing? What's going on? What's been going on recently? Just getting back to school. How's everything been?
It's been pretty good. I mean, I'm glad to be back, not like away from home, but a lot of stuff going on at home, and it's in the city. Now I'm back in the mountains and just not working, just focusing on school and lacrosse, staying active and healthy. Summer was cool. I worked a lot over the beginning of the summer. I worked this shift 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. and at Home Depot, and it's super tough, but like you get there and get your day over with and you get your money and you can do whatever you want for the rest of the day. But then this one dude got fired, so I had to close for us. So I was working the third shift, so it was a little tough, but then I started working the midday shifts, and then I was done for the summer because I was going on vacations and all, so it was cool.
Before we get into everything, make sure if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a 5-star rating, leave a review for the show. Definitely. I know exactly what you're saying. I was working my shifts 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. I was working at summer camp, so I already know what kind of time you're on. Being back here, obviously I wasn't okay, I'm not in a bad way, obviously. I was being at home and stuff, obviously, like anybody else, but I was kind of excited to come back to just to get back to the normal grind. When you're here, when you're at school, it's different being a student athlete and being just at home doing what you do and living now it's just, I know I'm just ready for school and basketball to start, ready to lock in on school and then ready for basketball to start. I know you're ready for lacrosse, same kind of thing too, so talk to me about that, D&E lacrosse. Talk to me about being here at D&E. This is your 3rd year coming up, 4th year coming up.
Yeah.
4th year at D&E. Talk to me about lacrosse, everything. How's everything? What you looking forward to this year?
This year, we got a lot of players now. The past couple years, we were short numbers, playing people with 15 guys on the team, and other teams had 40-man rosters. So now we're coming back with in the 30s, mid-30s, I'm pretty sure. We have the numbers, we got the talent. The guys coming back from last year, we only graduated 2 guys. So, yeah, it's going to be a good season. I'm expecting a good season, not to be cocky, but I'm pretty confident that I can, produce enough for my team to help put us in a good spot this year.
For sure. I think that's kind of the common theme especially around D&E, but probably around a lot of places, especially just this time that we're in. It's hard to play when you don't have enough people. Last year, we had our players. We had a situation with our players. A lot of people were injured, and just not having the numbers, it kind of hurts. I know other programs felt the same thing. No matter what sport, just losing players, it's a common theme, but not a common theme. Obviously people get injured, but it's obviously, I think coaches and people in general, everybody's starting to look to try to have more players so that if things like that happen, then it could be better off, because it's definitely hard to play when you don't have your full team and you're not at your full capacity. So
exactly.
I don't know. I feel like that probably is something that's everywhere, but I definitely think basketball and we're doing the same thing. I'm this year, I'm not exactly sure the exact number of guys we have, but I know we have a lot more people than we did last year, so hopefully that's a good thing for all sports, I feel, maybe.
Looking forward to that, too.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to the season. I'm ready for school to start, bro. We're shooting this a week before school starts. Today, August 6th. We're shooting this on August 6th. I don't know when it's going to come out, but yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Definitely excited for school to start.
Definitely.
Yeah. You play lacrosse now. Talk to me about your background, though. I know you talked to me. You played multiple sports. You did a lot of things coming up. And talk to me about just all the other sports you played and how you ended up sticking with lacrosse. And then talk to me about it being here at D&E lacrosse.
So when I was a freshman in high school, I was set on playing 3 sports a year. So my 3 sports that year was football, wrestling, and track, because I played football. I was gonna stay on the freshman team with my friends and stuff. I wasn't anything crazy, so I wasn't gonna be on varsity. But my freshman year, I wanted to stay with my classmates, and then I did wrestling for the first time, and I tried that out. Had a pretty good year. And then after that, I did track because I knew I was going to be on varsity. I wanted to get that varsity letter my freshman year. Like, that is something that a lot of people can't say they've done in their freshman year, is get a varsity letter for a sport. So thought I'd go do that. And then I did high jump, which is crazy because I'm short. So I used to make those.
So you got balance.
Yeah.
Can you dunk?
I can dunk, yeah. I can here and there, good days, bad days I can't, but like.
You're a rim grazer?
I'm a rim grazer.
You're a rim grazer?
I'm a rim grazer.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, no, I did wrestling my freshman year because I was done playing basketball, tried out for the team my freshman year, didn't make it. And I was like, oh well, next sport. And then my sophomore year I did football, wrestling, and then they made lacrosse a school sport. So I was like, it was either that or I was going to do volleyball because, like I said, I did high jump for track so I could jump. So, and I was talking to the coach about it, so I wanted to do volleyball, but I ended up doing lacrosse instead. I had more friends doing lacrosse, and I did pretty good that season. That kind of made me start liking it more, and I was like, I might as well start there because I was getting offers my sophomore year, my first year playing lacrosse. So I decided to stick to wrestling and lacrosse because I was getting offers for those sports rather than football. So
Got a question. So, like, okay, lacrosse, that's like a sport that, like, me personally, I didn't have that much exposure to as a kid. And I think part of it is because, like I'm black and, like, it's not the primary race in the sport. But I also think it's just because, like you just said, it was made a school sport your sophomore year.
Right.
So, like, I feel like a lot of people aren't exposed to it.
Exactly.
All races, but, like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, like, how did you get into lacrosse? And also, over the time that lacrosse has been in your life, how have you seen the sport change?
It's changed a lot. It's grown a lot nationally.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. How much have you seen the game grow? How much have you seen the game of lacrosse grow?
I even help out with back home with people like either young kids like elementary school or like middle school, with trying to teach them lacrosse or like expose lacrosse to them, you know, so they have the exposure to it. Just because if I feel like if I had it earlier, I probably could have gone farther or been better, you know, have more time to work on it. So I don't know. It's an expensive sport, so sometimes that's a big part of why I didn't get into it as well. Okay. So
see, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying, oh, I don't know about lacrosse because I'm black. I'm just saying, like, okay, that's another factor that deters people away from lacrosse. Like, I wouldn't have known how expensive it was or anything like that.
Super
but
expensive.
I think it's pretty lit, like, that you play lacrosse. I have a younger brother. His name is Dylan. He plays lacrosse at his school, and that's in middle school. So I'm like, okay, definitely it has to be growing. Obviously, I knew what lacrosse was, but, like, it wasn't in my life. So I think that's interesting. That's something I'm glad I got that to where I wanted to be. I wanted to ask, how much have you seen the game of lacrosse grow? Like,
it's grown a lot.
We talked about being excited to get back to school, not that excited to get back to school. I think people that aren't, like, in school or, like, student athletes or, like, people in our position, they probably wouldn't understand like that. I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't have to explain to you how we feel. Like, it's like, yes, I'm back. No, I'm back. So talk to me about being a student athlete and, like, everything your experience at D&E, like, what you're ready for, like, just getting back into the grind.
Yeah, I mean, I started as a computer science major and a math minor. So, like, when I first was here, it was all a grind, and, like, I wasn't doing the best. Like, as I was doing wrestling, I started wrestling my freshman year, and I was cutting 15 pounds a week, and I just couldn't do both lacrosse and wrestling, so my grades kind of got bad. So ever since then, I was working on them, and then I switched my major to accounting, and now I like accounting. I'm good with numbers, so it's a fun subject to me. So Yeah, it's not bad. I'm excited for the schoolwork a little bit, to be honest. I like learning. But being an athlete always has been in my life. I've played sports my whole life, and I definitely am ready to go back and compete with my teammates, the new guys that are coming back or coming in. I'm just ready to be back out there again, doing stuff what I, like.
For sure. I think it's like a if you know kind of thing. Like, yeah, because I'm same thing. Like, I can't even, I feel like I'm wasting time talking about this because some people aren't going to understand, but it's just like I'm so ready to just start schoolwork again, like just be going to practice and like just being around the team, like being around my guys, all my boys, and like going, competing, playing against them, like everything, like just everything, like enjoying life. Like I feel like after a while, like after you've been a student athlete for a while, it just becomes like just normal, the ups, downs, everything. Something I want to talk about is like mental health, like as a student athlete. Talk to me about what you think about that. I think it's something that's serious that doesn't necessarily get talked about a lot, but I think there are people in like organizations and stuff making a stride to talk about it more. I know this summer, I don't know if you saw, but I saw like, I don't want to be like incorrect, but I think I saw about 3 or 4 like college athletes that had committed suicide on Instagram and stuff like that. Talk to me about like mental health from your perspective as a student athlete and just as a person.
I mean, so growing up, like I kind of had some solid parents that like grew me up or raised me well and taught me right from wrong, and I had a brother and sister that I learned a lot from as well. But I really, got to college and being on my own was a little tough, especially when I was always doing good in school. Like my grades were usually always good, and then got to college and they were starting to get bad. I was hurt from wrestling, and I was struggling with classes and stuff like that. So that kind of put me down. And then when I realized like I had to get it wasn't just my physical health, it was more my mental health that I needed to work on. Because I ended up losing almost 30 pounds my sophomore year, and that was a big drop for me. And it was a gut check, and I realized like I gotta stay on top of that thing and eating right, working out right, doing the right thing, stretching, even like anything that helps. And I even got into yoga a little bit because that kind of helps the mental as well. So definitely just taking your time, and like sometimes you just gotta be alone and like talk to yourself, not like talk to yourself, but think on things and like go through the process of healing yourself, you know what I'm saying, instead of talking to someone else or going to other people, because sometimes you do need to talk to other people. There's got to be someone that can help you if you're going through a bad time and you can't do it yourself. So it's tough. It is tough. It's being a student athlete with just keeping your mental health good, because it's a lot you got to worry about. You got to worry about classes. You got to worry about keeping your spot, staying, or even trying to get that spot if you're not at that spot yet. So there's a lot that goes into it, really.
Definitely. I think it's a whole lot. Like you said, a lot of things, and I think it is tough to just find a balance. Like when you are going through something, like some things you do just got to go through alone and like not necessarily talk to anybody about. And then sometimes like you do have to be able to have some people or somebody that you can talk to. Like I think it's very tough, like mental health, being a student athlete and just being a regular person. Like people go through stuff like in real life, in real time, that we don't even know or you'll never know about. So that's why I kind of I like to joke around and like play around and stuff, but like I always am like, I'm aware of like who I'm like talking to and like try to be aware, because even though like I joke around with my friends, like I know it's times I catch my friends on a bad day, like they might be going through something, or like even somebody will catch me on a bad day or at a bad time, like with a joke, and that's just a simple interaction. So there's obviously people that are going through serious things, and like you said you lost 30 pounds, like that's really serious. But like the fact that you were able to figure out what you had to do personally and just get back to where you need to be or doing better than you were, like that's major. Salute you for talking about that. But I think that's serious, and I think that's something that people should pay more attention to student athlete and regular people. Honestly, like it's serious.
Cause like usually like, not to go back on it, but like I am the person a lot of people would go to talk to about things. Like I give people advice or help people do things, like because I see that people are going through those issues sometimes. So I try to not necessarily put myself in their shoes, but if I know they might need that help, I'll reach out to them, see how they're doing, ask how things are, what's going on and whatnot. And I realized like I was usually the one doing that to everybody else, but I didn't have somebody like that. So I had to, go outside my comfort zone and not necessarily find someone like that, but understand it's okay to have somebody like that too.
For sure.
So
I think that's definitely a skill. Like that's a good life skill to have. Like just being empathetic, like being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes or like understand somebody else's perspective and like understand that things aren't like everybody's not seeing life and doing the same things you're doing in life. Just being able to understand and relate to people.
Right.
I think that's key because if you have that ability, then you could just talk to anybody, you could meet anybody and just be good vibes. Like,
exactly.
So I think that's key. Season 7, the DJ Henderson podcast, man, it's been a blessing. It's been an incredible journey getting to this point. Coming from season 1, making it to season 7, it's been amazing. I appreciate anybody that's been supporting the show, or if this is your first time tuning into the show, I just appreciate you being here, supporting the show, and being able to see this. The best way to support the show is simply subscribing on YouTube, sharing this with your friends and family, leaving a like. And if you're listening to this on a streaming service, make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review. Again, I want to say thank you. I appreciate all the support. And now we're going to get back to the show. You talked about your parents raising you up right, being good parents, being solid parents for you. I know they mean a lot to you. Talk to me about your dad, your mom, your family dynamic in general, because you told me your dad's a military man. You talked to me about working out, how that was important. I just want to see like what it was like back then growing up. Your brothers, your family, like what was life like back then? You're from Cincinnati. So talk to me about that, Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah. My mom, she's from Detroit, so like we got that Motor City type of mentality in some of my family, but she moved to Cincy, and my dad's from Cincy, and he was in the military for a bit and then became a bodybuilder, and after that, that's when I believe my mom and him met, and then now I'm here, obviously. But yeah, they went through a lot. They got raised through some not tough times, but like they got raised very well, and they know right from wrong. And having both of them knowing that, coming together to raise me was a pretty big help, especially my mom, because I'm my dad's only kid, but my mom had a daughter, and her mother had. So he's my brother. I call him my brother, but my grandma had him and then passed away with lung cancer before he turned 1. So my mom just started taking care of him because like that was her brother. So she had to raise him, and he grew up thinking that was his mother until obviously she told him. So when I came along, I just thought that was my brother because he would always call her mom and whatnot, and he'd tell me to call him brother, but he's really my uncle. But yeah. Definitely, it was tough for her to go through that situation and raise her own daughter, but also raise her brother through life because she didn't have a mom anymore. Like that's a tough situation for her. And my dad, he just, he was a military guy, so he had his discipline and he was smart, and yeah, they were still together and just raised me, and I had a good upcoming, I guess you could say. My sister's pretty smart as well. She's a nurse. She graduated like nursing school or whatnot, and owns a business. Like brother, he does rap and stuff. He is doing pretty well for himself too. So it's not bad. We got a good solid family with them, and then he played basketball as well, my brother, until he broke his ankle, so he just kind of fell off after that a little bit. But And my sister, she was a cheerleader. I think she did track too, but yeah, pretty athletic family, I would say. And Cincinnati is pretty nice. Just being there, it's got a lot to do down there. You can go to the river, you can go to the sports games, the Reds or the Bengals. You can go to the minor league hockey game down there. They got FC Cincinnati down there now. Obviously, the University of Cincinnati and Xavier University, they got those. But even though I don't live necessarily in Cincinnati, I'm like 30, 40 minutes away depending on traffic. I'm right in between them and University of Dayton.
Right.
So like I got all that basketball, all the fun, good sports.
Basketball
yeah,
vibes.
Good basketball. So
that's great vibes. Xavier, Cincinnati, Dayton.
Yep.
Ohio is a basketball state.
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Ohio is a real basketball state for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. People sleep on Ohio. Indiana.
Yep. I'm right over there in that area too. Indiana, like 45 minutes from me. So
yeah, that's lit. Cincinnati sound lit though. When you just said all that.
And then we got
Bengals,
parks.
Reds.
Like we
all
got
the colleges.
Amusement parks, man. Like
we were talking about Buddy was showing me glizzies on the conies,
cheese conies.
These guys.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to be eating the glizzies in Florida, man.
Yeah, they nice. With
that's
the chili
vibe,
on
though.
it. Yeah, the chili, they got chili. You ain't even gotta get the hot dog or the glizzy. You can get the bread without it. You can get the spaghetti. You can get a lot with it, for real. Yeah. It's nice.
I'm probably not gonna eat the glizzy, but definitely I might slide through Cincinnati. Cincinnati might be a vibe for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is.
What's been the biggest obstacle that you've had to face to get to this point?
Biggest obstacle, I would say is two that are like tight in a tight race, but one is obviously bigger than the other. But the lower one, I would say, is the health wise, physical and mental, because I was in a bad spot when I got hurt, and then things just started going downhill from there. But really, I would say grades. Struggling with my one major and then switching majors, trying to work from that and figure out if this is what I need to do and this is what's for me. And it worked out. It was. So yeah, that was my biggest one. Probably was the grades and overcoming, making a good GPA now. So
for sure.
So yeah.
What's one or two quotes that you just keep with you, that you live by, like mottos, just things you say to yourself that keep you going?
There's one, my high school wrestling team, it's like a tradition for them. They say never give in. Even when you're when things getting tough and it looks like you're about to lose, or in a team sport or a sports situation, or if you're just struggling with life and it looks like it's about to be bad, you just don't give in. You just believe in yourself and keep fighting through it. And really, I know I got a lot of quotes. I got a lot of quotes on my phone. I keep a bunch on them. But another one, it's just one word. It's just believe. Because really, if you believe, you can find a way. Do anything. Anything's possible if you believe in yourself. So
definitely, that's something I realized. I be feeling like I could do anything. If I was able to think it, I was able to think it up into a thought.
Right.
If I could put a plan behind it, then that means it's already done.
Exactly.
I think. But just for me to be able to think something up, if I could think it, that means I could do it as possible. So I feel that for sure.
Yeah.
Season 7, the DJ Henderson podcast, man, it's been a blessing. It's been an incredible journey getting to this point. Coming from season 1, making it to season 7, it's been amazing. I appreciate anybody that's been supporting the show, or if this is your first time tuning into the show, I just appreciate you being here, supporting the show, and being able to see this. The best way to support the show is simply subscribing on YouTube, sharing this with your friends and family, leaving a like, and if you're listening to this on a streaming service, make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review. Again, I want to say thank you. I appreciate all the support, and now we're going to get back to the show. If you could meet and spend the day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Okay. Kendrick Lamar, for sure. I definitely like his music. I like his what is that word I'm trying to think of? His point of his music. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but it's the point of his music, the message he's trying to say. That him, Bo Jackson. I like Bo Jackson.
That's a good pick right there.
Yeah, he's a football and baseball player, and I used to play baseball when I was younger. So like, and he's an athlete. He's just buff and works. Yeah, it's kind of who I wanted to be when I was younger, for real, growing up. A two-sport athlete. And then, man, this is a tough one. I don't know. I guess Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
No LeBron?
He an Ohio kid. I already.
You're an Ohio kid.
I already seen him.
Bro, this man, bro.
I already seen him. He done fell in front of me. I was not front row, but I was second row when he fell in front of me.
So Michael Jordan's your GOAT?
I want to say
he has to be if you just chose
him.
him over. If you just chose him to
Yeah, I mean, LeBron cool.
This was going so good until this, bro. Jeez. Bro.
I really do like LeBron now. LeBron good for what he did. He's like doing a lot with not just his image that he has, but just coming from what he came from and going straight from high school too. Like that's crazy.
So.
But yeah, no. I mean, if he played with his kid, then yeah, I'd say like he been in the league for a minute.
Yeah.
But Jordan, just like his record wise, like in the finals, like he I just saw this. He was like 23 and 11, and LeBron like 23 or 22 and like 33 or something like that. Like it's not crazy. That's a lot of games in the finals, but. Nah, just things like that where like he helped his team a lot, but so did LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just LeBron newer. You know, Michael Jordan older. He was played in that bad boys rap. You know what I'm saying? Against all those bad guys. I like that kind of basketball.
I ain't gonna have the whole Michael Jordan LeBron debate. I don't really even like. I can get into it, but I don't really even like getting into it. But that's a lit three right there: Kendrick, Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's
definitely big. That's big vibes. That's definitely lit. That's definitely major. What's next for Buddy? What's on your mind? What's on your heart? What you got coming up next? What you got? What's on your mind?
I mean, other than lacrosse and school, music. I like playing the guitar and the piano. Like I picked that up recently and a couple years ago at least, and I'm getting better at it. I'm starting to learn stuff, and I'm trying to get like little gigs here and there, like places playing stuff for people. Maybe make some money, maybe make my own stuff, like get into making my own music, because I have a good ear for music and I like it. So
for sure, that's definitely lit. I wish I had that musical in me. I don't think I got it. I don't think it's for me. But I don't know. Like I said, I might drop an EP soon though. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. EP might be on the way.
Right,
maybe.
patience.
I don't know. I'm just bullshitting. But yeah, Buddy Brown. Last question I ask everybody: who should I have on the show next? Whoever you say, you got to plug me in. Who you think I should have on here next?
I got a couple guys, but I didn't talk to somebody about it. I think you should go with Peyton Brown.
Peyton Brown.
Yep, Lake Erie receiver / return specialist.
You bet. Peyton Brown, if you see this, need you to tap in, come on the show. Good vibes.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Buddy Brown, give it last 30 seconds. Anything on your heart, anything on your mind, any motivation you want to tell anybody that's watching, anything you want to put out there?
If you need help with something, you're struggling with something, find a way. You got it. You just think, believe in yourself, and push through it. You got it.
Definitely. Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Buddy, where can everybody find you? Instagram, any social media you want to plug?
Instagram, Buddy the Elf 34. I don't remember the Twitter, but yeah.
I'll have the Instagram down below. I'll find the Twitter, hopefully. Have everything down in the description. Make sure y'all follow Buddy. This was good vibes, good conversation.
For sure.
Appreciate you having me.
Always.
And you being on the show.
Thank you.
If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that. If you're listening on audio service, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, anything like that, make sure you leave a 5-star rating, leave a review. Thank you for tuning in to the show, and we'll see you on the next episode.